I died, choking on my own vomit in the back of an ambulance. The sirens wailing like banshees as my parents' faces blurred into judgmental masks above me. Accusing. Always accusing. The last thing I remembered was the noose of guilt they'd tied around my neck, whispering that it was all my fault, that I'd failed them, failed her. But as the darkness swallowed me whole, a cruel joke twisted the knife. I woke up gasping. Not in hell, but in my old bedroom. The alarm clock blinking 7 a.m. On that godforsaken Tuesday, the day they first threatened to jack up my rent unless I played unpaid nanny to my brat of a sister. It hit me like a freight train barreling through the fog of resurrection. I was 23 again. Flesh and bone. Heart pounding against ribs that shouldn't have been whole. My hands, calloused from the bar shifts I'd slaved through post-tragedy, trembled as I touched my face in the mirror. The faint scar from that night already erased. Like God or the devil had hit rewind just to watch me squirm. Emily was still alive. That golden child monster in pigtails and attitude. Her laughter echoing from downstairs like nails on a chalkboard. And my parents? Oh. They were brewing their poison coffee, plotting their little extortion scheme, oblivious to the storm I'd become. That morning, I stumbled down the creaky stairs of our split level in suburban Ohio, quintessential American decay, with its peeling vinyl siding and the distant hum of the interstate mocking my fresh start. The kitchen smelled of burnt toast and entitlement. Mom in her nurse's scrubs fussing over the coffee pot. Dad buried in his tablet, scrolling stock tickers like the world revolved around his 401k. Emily, all of 12 and already a pint-sized diva with her TikTok dreams, was sprawled at the table, kicking her feet against the chair legs, demanding more syrup for her pancakes. Madeline. Honey, Mom started, her voice that fake sweet lilt she reserved for PDA meetings. We need to talk about your situation. I froze in the doorway, cereal bowl in hand, the milk sloshing like the bile rising in my throat. This was it, the hook they sank into me last time. My situation was the attic apartment I'd rented from them after college. A shoebox of a space with leaky pipes and zero insulation, for which they charged me an arm and a leg because family discount. I'd been scraping by on tips from slinging drinks at O'Malley's, that dive bar off Route 71 where the locals nurse their grudges with cheap whiskey. Dad looked up, his bifocals slipping down his nose, that perpetual frown etching deeper. Rent's going up next month. Maddie. Economy's tough. We can't subsidize you forever. My spoon clattered against the bowl. Subsidize? I'd been paying market rate plus emotional labor since I moved back after Dad's heart scare 2 years ago, cleaning gutters, mowing the lawn in July heat, biting my tongue through their endless gripes about my wasted potential. But I knew the real play. Emily's school play was that week, and Mom had picked up overtime shifts. They needed free childcare. Stat. And, I said, voice steady even as my pulse thundered. Last time, I'd caved like wet cardboard. What's the catch? Mom exchanged a glance with Dad, the kind that screamed conspiracy. Well, if you could just watch him a few evenings a week. Help out. It'd make things easier. And we could reconsider the increase. Emily snorted without looking up from her phone. Yeah. Right. Like babysitting me is a chore. I'm basically an adult. I wanted to laugh, or scream, or wrap my hands around the throat of this timeline and squeeze until it confessed. Last time, I'd said yes. I juggled shifts, burned bridges at work, all to keep the roof over my head. And on that one night, the night that shattered everything, I'd been exhausted, one eye on the clock, the other on her. Emily had begged for that stupid sleepover, the one with the bonfire in the backyard. I'd relented, against every screaming instinct. The fire got out of hand, embers flying like demons, catching the dry grass. She tripped running from it, hit her head on the patio stone. Gone in an instant. And me, the villain. Neglectful big sister. Too selfish to watch properly. The headlines in the local rack: teen girl dies in family home blaze, sibling blamed. The investigation cleared me. Technically, no charges. Just whispers and stares at the grocery store. But my parents? They turned on me like wolves scenting blood. You were supposed to protect her, Mom had sobbed at the funeral. Her words a public stoning. Dad froze my bank account for debts, evicted me without notice. I spiraled booze. Bad men. That final ambulance ride after mixing pills with O'Malley's bottom shelf vodka. Accidental overdose, the coroner said. But I knew better. Suicide by despair. Courtesy of the family that birthed me. Now, here I was, armed with the ghosts of what was to come. My clever plan? It started with a smile, the one I'd practiced in hell. Sharp as a switchblade. Sure, I said, sliding into my seat, forcing cheer into my voice like saccharin in bad coffee. I'd love to babysit. But let's make it official. A contract. No rent hike if I cover 3 nights a week. Plus weekends when you need. Dad blinked. Caught off guard. A contract? Come on. Maddie. We're family. Exactly, I replied, meeting his eyes with the steel I'd forged in the afterlife. Family deserves clarity. No more gray areas. Mom hesitated, then nodded. Ever the peacemaker. Fine. We'll draw something up tonight. Emily rolled her eyes. Lame. You're such a lawyer wannabe. I ruffled her hair, gently, for now, feeling the first thrill of the hunt. Little did they know, this contract would be my Trojan horse, laced with clauses that'd bind them tighter than the guilt they heaped on me before. The days blurred into a tense rhythm, me playing the dutiful daughter by day, plotting by night. I dusted off my old laptop, the one with the cracked screen from Dad's accidental elbow during a football game rant. Research was my weapon now. Ohio tenant laws, familial liability, even a deep dive into the family finances I'd glimpsed on that shared desktop password, a love you Emily one gag. Turns out, Dad's heart scare wasn't angina, it was a gambling debt scare, racked up at the casinos in Cincinnati. Mom's overtime, covering the interest on maxed out cards. They weren't just squeezing me, they were drowning. And Emily was their life raft, the perfect child to parade while the real rot festered. My first move was subtle. During babysitting shifts, I documented everything. Photos of the backyard fire pit, rusted, unpermitted, a lawsuit waiting to happen. Notes on Emily's adventures, sneaking out to meet that sketchy boy from school, the one with the vape and the juvie record I'd uncover later. I charmed the neighbors, the nosy ones like Mrs. Hargrove next door, who remembered the good old days when Dad was sober and Mom wasn't popping Xanax like Tic Tacs. You're different, Maddie, Mrs. Hargrove said one afternoon over her chain-link fence, her curlers bobbing as she hung laundry. More. Awake. I smiled. That calculated curve. Just seeing things clearly now. Mrs. Ash. By week 2, the contract was inked, my masterpiece of legalese, borrowed from online templates and tweaked with devilish precision. It stipulated not just my babysitting duties but their obligations, maintaining a safe home environment. No one approved renovations, bye-bye. That dodgy deck Dad wanted to fix himself. And, buried in the fine print, a mutual non-disparagement clause. Speak ill of me? Pay damages. Evict without cause? Double rent backdated. They signed it over takeout Chinese. Too relieved to read between the lines. Emily sulked upstairs, blasting Olivia Rodrigo, while I savored the fortune cookie that cracked open to "Revenge is a dish best served cold." A coincidence? In my reborn life, nothing was. But revenge isn't a sprint, it's a marathon of mind games. I started small with Emily, planting seeds of doubt. Hey, Squirt, ever wonder why Mom and Dad fight so much about money? I'd ask during our movie nights, her favorite being those teen rom-coms where the underdog flips the script. She'd shrug, popping popcorn kernels. Duh. 'Cause you're a mooch. Ouch. But predictable. Last time, her barbs had cut deep, fueling my self-doubt. Now, ammunition. Nah, it's deeper. Remember Uncle Ray? The one who moved away? Turns out, Dad owed him big from poker nights. Family secrets. Immunancia. They eat you alive if you let 'em. Her eyes widened, that preteen curiosity flickering. Good. Let her dig. Kids are natural detectives with no filter. With Mom, it was empathy bombs, soft, insidious. After her shift, I'd brew decaf and listen to her vent about the ER chaos. You carry too much, Mom. Dad stresses. They spill over. You know. She'd sigh, rubbing her temples. He's just trying to provide. By threatening your own kids' home? I'd counter gently, planting the weed. That's not providing, that's desperation. Cracks formed. I'd catch her staring at the contract on the counter, brow furrowed, like she'd tasted something off in her own stew. Dad was tougher, bullheaded, the type who doubled down on denial. But I had leveraged his secret vice. One night, while babysitting, Emily was at a sleepover. My free pass. I accidentally found his browser history on the family PC. Offshore betting sites. Wire transfers to shady accounts. Jackpot. The next morning, over his black coffee, no cream, 2 sugars, I dropped it casual as confetti. Rough night? You look like you lost a sure thing. He choked. Coffee dribbling. What are you on about? I leaned in, voice low. Horses. Dad? Or was it the Bengals spread? Don't worry, I get it. Pressure's a bitch. But if Mom found out, his face went the color of overripe tomato. You stay out of it, girl. Or what? Raise my rent again. I smiled. All teeth. Contract says you can't. But hey, family helps family, right? I could. Look the other way. For a cut of the chores. It was blackmail light, wrapped in concern. He grumbled but nodded. And just like that, I was mowing the lawn less, him more. Power shift. Baby steps. As autumn leaves turned the yard to fire, tension simmered like a pot left too long on the boil. Emily started confiding, turns out. She'd overheard Mom and Dad arguing about selling the house to cover debts. They said it's your fault for not contributing more, she whispered one night, curled on the couch during a thunderstorm, lightning cracking like Judgment Day. My blood ran cold, then hot. This was the pivot, the buried secret uncoiling, not just debts, but fraud. Dad hadn't just gambled. He'd dipped into Mom's retirement fund, forged signatures on a second mortgage. Emily's accidental discovery last time had been the spark, her tattling to a teacher, CPS sniffing around, accelerating their blame game against me after the fire.
Now.
I steered her. We gotta protect ourselves.
Eminência.
Make a plan. Record 'em next time. She hesitated, loyalty warring with fear. But they're our parents. I almost said. Instead. And we're their kids. Blood's thicker than ink, but thinner than lies. We set up her phone, hidden in the laundry basket, capturing the blowout that night. Dad's voice boomed. That damn mortgage was for her college, and she dropped out. We're ruined because of Maddie, Mom sobbed. We can't lose the house.
Tom.
Emily needs stability. The recording was gold, admissions of embezzlement, emotional abuse. I backed it up to a cloud drive only I knew about. My digital fortress. But controversy brewed. My decisions teetered on the edge. Was I corrupting Emily? Turning her into a mini-me snitch? Hell yes. And it gnawed at me in the quiet hours. Rebirth hadn't erased the love, just armored it in rage. Still, I pushed, because stopping meant reliving the end. The climax crept up like November fog. Mom's birthday dinner, ironic. The woman who'd birthed my hell. I'd cooked roast chicken, her favorite, seasoned with my simmering spite. Emily set the table, fidgety, her phone clutched like a talisman. Toasts clinked, forced cheer masking the rot. Then Dad, buzzed on craft beer, let slip, to family. Even the ones who cost us everything. Mom stiffened. Emily's eyes darted to me. I seized it, voice honeyed venom. Cost you? Like the mortgage you faked for my tuition I never used? Or the gambling that ate our savings? Silence crashed like cymbals. Dad's fork clattered. What the? I pulled out my phone, hit play. Their voices echoed.
Damning.
Emily gasped, but I saw the spark, relief. Maybe justice. You little spy, Dad roared, lunging. I sidestepped, chair scraping. Mom wailed. Tom. Stop. It devolved to shouts. Accusations flying like shrapnel. Emily bolted upstairs, sobbing. I stood firm, contract in hand like a shield. We're done, Dad. I'm calling the bank tomorrow. And a lawyer. For all of us. He swung wild, fist grazing my arm, bruise-worthy. Evidence gold. Mom pulled him back, tears streaming. Why? Maddie? Why now? Because you killed me, I whispered, the truth slipping free. Not the fire, not the pills, their betrayal had hollowed me out long before. In the fallout, cops came, not for arson this time, but domestic dispute. Dad arrested for assault. Mom for aiding fraud once the recordings hit her ER colleagues. Anonymous tip. My ghost hand. Emily placed with Aunt Clara, the one who'd always hated Dad's guts.
Me?
I walked free. Rent waved in the chaos. Attic mine till the foreclosure. But as sirens faded, Emily hugged me fierce at the station. You saved us. Mads. Did I? The twist gutted me. In my rage. I'd saved her from the fire, from their toxicity, but shattered the family irreparably. Happy ending? For her? Maybe. For me, a hollow victory. Echoes of what I'd lost. Reborn. Revenged. but forever the villain in my own mirror. The station house smelled like stale coffee and regret. Fluorescent buzz drilling into my skull as I signed statements with a pen that bled ink like open wounds. Aunt Clara arrived in a whirlwind of perfume and practicality, 60-something, retired teacher, the family black sheep who'd cut ties after Dad's poker scandals leaked. She scooped Emily into a bear hug, murmuring assurances, but her eyes locked on mine, sharp, appraising, like she'd been waiting for this implosion. "You did good, kiddo," she said later, over vending machine candy bars in the waiting area. Emily dozed on the plastic chairs, thumb in mouth like she was 5 again. "But this? It's just the opening act." I nodded, throat tight. Opening act. My clever plan had been chess. Not checkers. Anticipate 3 moves ahead. Sacrifice pawns for the queen. But Rebirth's gift was foresight laced with curse. Every victory tasted like ash, because I knew the board's endgame. Last time, Aunt Clara had shown up post-funeral. Too late. Offering pity money, I threw back in her face. Now, ally in the war. We drove to her place in Medina, a cozy rancher with a wraparound porch and no ghosts, Emily chattering nervously about school. Me silent, mapping next strikes. Clara's words lingered. Act. The revenge wasn't sated with one brawl. It demanded dismantling. Brick by vindictive brick. First target, the house. Foreclosure loomed like a guillotine, but I accelerated it. Posing as concerned daughter, I emailed the bank with attachments, the recordings, mortgage docs I'd swiped from Dad's desk, digital forensics. Easy in my reborn savvy. Potential fraud, I typed. Anonymous through a VPN I'd set up on the library Wi-Fi. By dawn, investigators were circling, freezing assets. Mom called from holding, voice cracking. "Maddie,
Please.
for Emily." "For Emily," I echoed, hanging up. The irony burned, using my sister's name as shield.
Just like they had.
Emily's integration was trickier. She idolized me now, the big sis who'd stood up to the monsters. Sleepovers turned confessional. "Dad always said you were lazy."
But
He lied about everything. We'd binged true crime docs. Her wide-eyed. Me schooling her on red flags, gaslighting, financial abuse. Controversial? Arming a kid with that knowledge felt like handing her a loaded gun. But better she shoot straight than bleed out blind. School was ground zero. Emily's return post-drama was a circus, whispers in halls. That girl whose dad got arrested? I volunteered as chaperone for the winter formal. Schmoozing teachers. Slipping doubts. Tom's always been volatile. Glad the truth's out. The principal, a soft touch, nodded sympathetically. And soon Emily's grades ticked up, no more distractions from home chaos. But pushback came swift. Dad's lawyer, a sleazy type from Akron, all slick suits and shark smiles, contacted me. Harassment. Emmis. Reynolds. Your father's prepared to countersue. I met him in a Tim Hortons. Steam from my double-double curling like smoke signals. On what grounds?
assaults on tape.
Frauds in the ledgers. He leaned in, cologne cloying. Family matters stay private. Drop it. Get a payout. Your sister's future. Emily's not a bargaining chip, I snapped, sliding a USB across the table. More files. Dad's casino logs. Timestamps matching sick days. Tell him to fold. Or the DA gets this. Bluff. Half. The DA was next if he pushed. But it worked. Calls stopped. Settlement whispers started. Power's aphrodisiac, even when it sours your soul. Winter gripped Ohio like a grudge. Snow blanketing sins under white lies. Clara's became command central, me crashing on the couch. Job hunting by day, barista at a indie coffee spot. Tips better. Drama nil. Plotting by night. Emily thrived, braces gleaming. Soccer tryouts aced. But nights, she'd creep down, whispering fears. What if they get out? What if they hate us? I'd hold her. Echoes of my own pre-fire doubts. Hate's their chain.
Iminência.
We broke free. Yet freedom's price. Isolation. Old friends ghosted. Tainted by association. Dates? Fizzled fast. Guys sense the edge. The crazy eyes from too many what-ifs. Rebirth made me survivor. Not socialite. The twist coiled in February. Valentine's chill. Mom's release. House arrest. Ankle monitor humming like a warden's watch. She reached out via Clara. One visit. Please. Against gut. I went. The house, our old prison, looked forlorn. For sale sign crooked in the yard. Mom in slippers.
Gaunt.
Brewing tea with shaking hands. I didn't know.
Maddie.
About the money. He hid it. Lies hide easy in families, I said, perching on the edge of the couch. Spring poking my thigh. She wept. Mascara rivers. Forgive me for blaming you after. After the fire. She couldn't say it, but I saw the ghost. Alternate Emily. Ashes. You didn't kill her this time, I murmured. But you killed me. Her eyes widened. What? Slip of tongue. Or fate's prod. I backpedaled, figuratively. The guilt. But seeds planted. She confessed more, Dad's rages, her enabling. A buried secret. Emily wasn't his. An affair.
Preemie.
With a coworker. He suspected. It fueled everything. Boom. The core betrayal. Rotten heart of our clan. I feigned shock. Recorded discreetly, phone in pocket, app running. Why tell me now? To end it. Take the house.
Maddie.
Sell it. Start over.
Tempting.
But my plan? Scorched earth. I left with keys. Heart heavier. Climax brewed in court. Dad's plea hearing. Fraud charges sticking like tar. I testified. Voice steady. He built our home on lies. We paid with trust. Emily watched from the gallery. Clara's hand in hers. Dad's glare seared, but crumbled when the judge dropped hammer. 5 years. Restitution. Outside. Rain lashed. Washing slate?
No.
Mom approached. Free on technicality. Eyes pleading. We can rebuild. I handed her the recording, her confession. Rebuild without us. Emily's mine now. Her face crumpled. You destroy me too? Twist of the knife, I said, walking away. Controversial? Blackmailing your mom? Utterly. But rebirth demanded balance. Eye for the soul they'd gouged. Spring thawed secrets, but not scars. Emily and I moved into a rental, cozy two-bed near the lake. My barista bucks stretched thin but sufficient. She aced midterms. I enrolled in night classes, psychology, ironic therapy. Clara visited Sundays. Pot roast and poker, no stakes. Lessons only. Yet the ending twisted cruel. One night, Package on doorstep. Mom's handwriting. For Emily. Love always. Inside, locket. The one from Grandma. Engraved forever family. Note. I'm sorry. Ending it my way. Pills. Ambulance. History's echo. But hers. Emily wailed. I held her, whispering, not your fault. Funeral small. Dad from prison sending regrets. We buried her under dogwoods. Pink blooms mocking grief. Happy?
No.
Tragic triumph, I'd revenged.
Protected.
But cycles bite. Emily leaned on me. Resilient spark. We'll be okay.
Mads.
Your plan worked.
Did it?
In mirrors, I saw her eyes, mine.
Hardened.
Reborn to save. I'd forged a new chain. But for now, we walked. Sisters against storms. Clever plan etched in survival's ink. Summer scorched Ohio like divine payback. Humidity clinging like unspoken accusations as Emily and I settled into our lakeside limbo. The rental, a clapboard bungalow with sagging eaves and a dock that creaked underfoot, was no palace. But it was ours. No contracts. No creeps in the basement. Dad's old workshop full of half-built birdhouses and hidden bourbon bottles. Mornings, I'd brew Folgers strong enough to wake the dead. Ironic. Given my passenger status, while Emily scarfed Eggo waffles. Backpack slung for camp. You think Mom's happy now? She asked one dawn, syrup dripping from her chin. Eyes on the water where loons called like lost souls. I paused, mug halfway to lips. Mom's ending had been staged, pills swallowed with vodka. But the talk screen said low dose. Just enough for drama. She'd survived. Pumped and committed. Now in a psych ward-up state. Dad's prison letters her only lifeline. Happier's relative. Squirt. She's getting help. That's something.
Lie.
Half. Truth. I checked her file via a nurse friend from Mom's old ER crew, bipolar diagnosis. Buried under years of denial. My doing? Indirectly. The stress I'd amplified cracked her facade. Guilt gnawed. Rebirth's double edge. Omniscience without absolution. Emily nodded. Trusting. Too trusting. My plan evolved, not just dismantle, but rebuild bulletproof. I enrolled her in therapy, group for kids of incarcerated parents, where she spilled guts to peers who got it.
Me?
Solo sessions with Dr. Patel. A no-nonsense shrink with an accent like warm chai. Revenge narratives are seductive, he said. Notepad balanced on knee. But they chain the avenger too. I smirked. Chains only as strong as the lock. He probed deeper. Dreams of the fire. Alternate screams. I confessed fragments, the overdose. The ambulance blur, framing as metaphor. Feels like I lived it twice. Trauma echoes, he noted. But his eyes said he sensed more. The uncanny edge to my recall. By July 4th. Cracks in my armor showed. Barista gig soured, boss skimmed tips. A micro-dad move. I quit. Tempeed at a call center. Voice gravel from scripted smiles. Nights. Emily's soccer games. Cheers from bleachers. Me scanning crowds for threats. Paranoia? Or prudence? Dad's release loomed in 18 months. Parole boards loved, reformed family men. Controversy peaked with the house sale. Moms signed over deeds from rehab. Clara handling legals. Auction fetched mid-six figures, enough for Emily's college fund. My down payment on stability. But whispers spread That Reynolds girl. She bankrupted her folks. At the grocery, carts rammed subtle. Glares from old money neighbors. I leaned in, weaponizing it. Anonymous posts on Nextdoor. Beware predatory lending in our suburb. Ask the Reynolds how it ends. Backlash swift. Doxing attempts. Tire slashed. Dad's cousin. I bet. Emily freaked. Sleep shattered. Are we bad guys now? Kneeling. Her face level. Nah. We're survivors. Bad guys don't question. But I did. Night scrolling case law. Debating escalation. The secret's full bloom. Mom's affair wasn't one-off. Letters from the ward, confiscated by Clara, revealed a son. Given up pre-dad. My half-brother. Adopted out east. Protect him from this, she'd scrawled. Protect? From what? Our blood curse. I hunted him. Public records. Social media sleuthing. Jake Harlan. 28. Software engineer in Boston. Married. No kids. Profile pic, clean cut. Smiling at a Red Sox game. Mirror of dad. Minus the rot. Contact?
Tempting.
Twist him into the narrative. Expose the web. Or mercy. Leave the ghost buried. Decision deferred. Focus shifted. Emily's birthday bash. I threw at lakeside, barbecue. Kayaks rented cheap. 10 giggly tweens in neon life vests. Laughter echoed. Fireflies winking approval. For a breath. Normalcy. Burgers charred perfect. Esmores gooey. Emily queen in fairy lights. Then, uninvited. Dad's lawyer. Bearing envelope. Probate courtesy. Your father's will, contingent on reconciliation. I snatched it. Flames nearby hissing. Tell him reconciliation's a one-way street. Envelope heavy. Letter. Photo of toddler Emily. Dad's scrawl. I was wrong. But you destroyed us. This ends with you alone. Rage surged. Plan fracturing. I burned it dockside. Ashes scattering on ripples. Emily spotted. Eyes wide. Mads? What's wrong? Old ghosts, I muttered, pulling her into kayak race. Distraction won. But sleep fled. August heat wave broke with storms, mirroring my turmoil.
Dr.
Patel pushed. Write the unsent letter. To your parents. I did. Pages ripping. Accusations. Grief. The unspoken, my death. Rebirth's fury. You birthed me twice. Once in flesh. Once in fire. I came back to burn you first. Unsent. Cathartic. But twists struck lightning fast. Jake called.
How?
Mom's leak from ward. Desperate bridge. Madeline?
It's
complicated. Mom, our mom, reached out, voice steady. Educated twang. I froze. Rain pattering window. You know.
bits.
The affair. The adoption. She says you're in trouble. Family imploding. Imploding. My doing. Trouble's relative. Want the full script. We talked hours, his life stable. Ours shrapnel. He offered visit. No strings. Controversy. Embrace the half-blood. Dilute the poison? Or sever? Keep the plan pure? I chose hybrid, meat. But mine the intel. He arrived Labor Day. Khakis and kindness. Emily shy but thawing over corn maze and cider. You're like the brother I never had, she said. Munching caramel apples. He laughed.
Pained.
Wish I'd known sooner. Evenings by fire pit, ironic echo. I spilled curated truths. Dad's rages. Mom's shadows. My clever maneuvers. He listened, jaw tight. Sounds like you saved them from themselves.
Saved.
Word hung. Mocking. His gift, hacker buddy. Traced Dad's prison comms, smuggled phone. Plotting appeal on coerced testimony.
Target me.
Climax ignited. Anonymous threat. Email from burner. Drop the charges or Emily pays. Heart seized. Plans blowback. I'd poked the bear. Now claws out. I fortified. Security cams on bungalow. Emily's school alerted. Jake wiring funds for lawyer upgrade. But inner storm raged.
DR.
Patel. Revenge's endgame. Does it free? Or forge new cages? Cage felt apt. Emily's laughter my bars. Decision. Go nuclear. Fed tip line. Recordings forwarded. Dad's plot unraveled. Solitary added. October leaves fell like confessions. Jake stayed weak. Bonding forged. Family's choice, he said departure hug. You chose us. Did I? Emily's eyes sparkled. Half-bro magic. But nights. Doubt, my clever plan. Rebirth's blade. Had carved kin from carnage. Yet ending loomed bittersweet. Mom's discharge. Supervised release. Letter arrived. Hand trembling. Come see me? For Emily. I debated. Then yes. Ward visit. Sterile halls. Her frail in scrubs. I was the villain, she whispered. Were. I corrected. Past tense.
Tears.
Forgive. Not yet. But seed. As we left, Emily squeezed my hand. Your plan's working?
Mads.
Look whole.
Whole.
Fractured mosaic. But shining. Reborn. Revenged. Reclaiming. Tragic? Perhaps. But in American grit. That's the hook. November's gray shroud settled over the lake like a mourner's veil. Frost etching windows with accusations I couldn't scrape away. Emily's school play Grease. Her as Rizzo. All sass and leather jacket became my anchor. Rehearsals a whirlwind of hairspray and harmonies. I played stage mom. Hauling props from dollar store runs. Memorizing lines to prompt flubs. Normalcy's facade. But beneath, the plan pulsed. Veins of vengeance, threading through PDA small talk. Jake's visit lingered like afterglow. Texts pinged daily. His Boston winters contrasting our Midwest muck. Found old photos, he'd send Mom young. Radiant. Pre-betrayal. Emily devoured them. Piecing puzzle. She looks happy. Like us now.
Us.
The words swelled. Uncomfortable fit. Rebirth had primed me for solo scorched earth. Not this patchwork tribe. But Emily thrived grades A's. Soccer goals. Braces off to reveal grin that could melt glaciers. My doing? Or hers? Resilient core I'd once envied. Dad's appeal hearing loomed.
December docket.
I prepped like a prizefighter. Affidavits from neighbors, Mrs. Hargrove's testimony gold. Witnessed rages. Financial forensics from Jake's hacker pal, trails to shell accounts. Laundering via fake LLCs. Lawyer. A fierce feminist type named Ruiz. Grinned wolfish. We'll bury him in paper. Controversy crested ethical waves. Perjury temptation whispered. Embellish the assault. Paint dad monstrous.
DR.
Patel grilled. Truth's your compass. Madeline. Deviate. Lose north. I stuck straight. But twist gut punched. Mom's ward eval leaked. Nurse friend again. Loyalty bought with coffee. Borderline traits. Yes. But victim of coercive control. Dad's puppet master. Sympathy surged. Unwanted. Had I revenged the wrong architect? Hearing day. Courthouse in Cleveland. Snow squalls blurring steel girders. Emily sidelined with Clara. Me in wool coat. Heels clicking judgment. Dad shackled. Gaunt in orange. Eyes hollowed. Lawyer Ruiz eviscerated. Recordings played. Gasps from bench. His counsel flailed. Familial dispute. But judge. Steely grandma type. Shut it down. Appeal denied. Sentence bumped to 7. Dad's gaze locked mine post-verdict, not rage.
Defeat.
You win.
Maddie.
But Emily. She'll hate you for this. Doubts stagger. I fled to bathroom. Retching bile of triumph.
When?
Emily's hug outside. Proud of you, soothed, but scar-etched. Holiday season mocked with tinsel traps. Clara's Thanksgiving, turkey dry, but kin warm. Jake flew in, carving knife steady. Toasts clinked, to new starts. Emily's eyes shone, but mine scanned shadows. Paranoia peaked, mail tampered. Watch your back, scrawled on envelope. Culprit? Dad's cousin. The tire slasher. Escalated. I confronted via burner call. Back off. Or your meth lab goes public. Intel from Jake. Cousin's side hustle. Trailer park chemistry. He folded, whimpering. But inner fray, dreams bled timelines, fires roar. Overdose haze. Now laced with mom's ward whispers. Come back. Maddie. Fix it. Rebirth's burden. One life. Infinite regrets. December deepened. Emily's Rizzo debut electric. Spotlight her halo. Applause thunder. Backstage. Flowers from Jake. Card. Sister act steals show. Laughter bubbled.
Real.
But soured post-curtain. Mom's social worker called. Discharge approved. Holiday visit. Stakes rose. Emily begged. Please? One dinner. Controversial calculus. Expose her to toxicity. Risk relapse? Or starve the bond? Breed resentment? Plans pivot. Controlled burn. I agreed. Neutral ground. Olive Garden endless breadsticks. Ruiz on speed dial. Dinner disaster scripted.
Mom.
Medicated serene. In reindeer sweater. You look well. Girls. Emily chattered play tales. I monitored. Fork spearing ravioli like threats. Then probe. How's Tom? Mom asked. Olive speared. Rotting, I said flat. Emily stiffened. Mom's eyes welled.
He wrote.
Says you're poison. Poison. Echoed my unsent letter. I leaned in. He forged your life away. I stopped the bleed. She nodded.
Slow.
I know. Therapy. Truths. Confession tumbled. The affair. Jake's birth. Wanted to keep him. But Tom threatened. Buried secrets root. Control. From cradle. Emily gasped. A brother? Wait, Jake. Mom blinked. You met. Web tangled. I confessed Jake's role. Her face crumpling joy grief. My boys. Lost. Hug cluster. Tears saline.
Me?
Detached. Plan recalibrating. Mercy clause? Twist uncoiled New Year's Eve. Jake's emergency flight. Mom's relapse, bolted ward. Pills hoarded. Found in time. But comatese. We rallied ICU vigil. Beep's symphony of suspense. Emily prayed. Jake paced. I schemed. Exposed Dad's letters. Manipulative missives Ruiz subpoenaed. Coma lifted dawn. Mom weak, but waking. End it. Maddie. The cycle. I nodded.
Fierce.
Started. January thawed resolutions. Mom relocated, sober house downtown. Supervised. Emily visits weekly. Me chaperone. Jake monthly. Bridge solidifying. My temp gig evolved, promoted to supervisor. Voice authority now. But revenge's tale, Dad's prison shank attempt foiled. Solitary extended. Cousin arrested. Lab busted. Ripples. Family name mud. But we rose. Emily's scholarship offer. My psych degree pursuit.
Spring equinox.
Lake ice cracked like shells. Picnic dockside. 4 of us, me.
Ink.
Jake. Mom tentative. Sandwiches. Frisbee. Laughter tentative bloom. You plan this, Mom said sunset. Wine spritzer in hand, non-alcoholic. Her sponsors rule. Clever. Right? I quipped. But eyes misted. Rebirth's arc, from ashes to this fragile hearth. Emily splashed. Carefree. Best family ever.
Best?
Fractured. Forged in fire, mine.
Theirs.
Tragic undertow. But happy crest. Plans end. Not destruction. Reclamation. American dream. Gritty remix. Yet doubts whisper. Dad's release. 2030. Cycle's ghost. I'd be ready. Blade honed.
For now.
Sunset guilds. Kin close. Revenged. Reborn. Relentless. Summer's second act sweltered, uninvited. Lake shimmering like fool's gold as Emily's graduation loomed, caps and gowns. A milestone I'd stolen from my own timeline. The bungalow buzzed prep, invitation scripted. Cake-tested chocolate fudge. Her fave. Jake helmed grill at the party. Apron dusted flour. Mom arranged flowers with tentative grace, sober 9 months. Sponsors badge pinned proud. Clara clucked oversight. Potato salad her scepter.
Me?
Shadow conductor. Ensuring harmonies hum. Rebirth's year 2 itch. Complacency's siren. Dad's letters smuggled. Ruiz intercepted most. But leaks pierced. Emily's turning against you. Blood calls. Manipulation's venom. But she shredded them. Loyal flame. Ceremony eve. Eve of nerves, Emily paced. Valedictorian speech clutched. What if I bomb? I knelt. Gown rustle. You won't. You're Rizzo reborn, steal the show. Her hug crushed. Your plan. It got us here. Here. Wholeness whisper. But controversy's ghost. My methods, blackmail. Leaks. Emotional vivisections.
Dr.
Patel termed it moral ambiguity's toll. Sessions delved. Revenge reframed. Justice or vendetta? Both, I admitted. Saves and scars. Grad night. Stadium lights haloed her poise. Words soaring. Family isn't given, it's fought for. Flaws and all. Applause roared. My throat lumped. Echo of her post-fire eulogy. Twisted to triumph. Reception lakeside. Lanterns bobbed. Blues playlist crooned Springsteen anthems. Jake toasted. To Maddie, the architect. Mom teared. My anchor. Emily's grin. Boss sis. Warmth flooded. But chill nipped. Anonymous text. Burner ping. Parole hearing soon. Drop guards or regret. Dad. Early release bid. Good behavior facade. Plan reactivated. Ruiz mobilized. Victim impact statement prepped. I wrote raw. You birthed betrayal. But I birthed survival. Hearing virtual, prison link grainy. His face gaunt. Preacher's calm. Board droned queries. He spun redemption yarn. AA meetings. Bible study.
Then me?
Screen split. Words are cheap.
Tom.
You gambled our lives.
Lost.
Release? Risk Emily's. His flinch, first crack. Board denied. 2 years added. Silent cheer. But Emily's call post. Heard. Scary.
But.
Thanks. Summer waned. College tours. And arbor for her psych major, my nudge. Boston visits for Jake's orbit. Mom's house hunt, tiny condo. Fresh start. My degree chugged. Internship at crisis center. Ironic. Counseling echoes of my hell. Twist Talone. Fall equinox. Dad's contraband phone traced to cousin. Out on bail. Plot. Kidnap him. Ransom testimony recant. Foiled by my cams. Cops swarmed. Charges stacked. Interrogation room footage Ruiz shared. Dad crumbling. Just wanted family back. Family you broke. I watched. Steel-hearted. November chill. Thanksgiving redux. Table groaned abundance. Jake's wife-to-be met over Zoom. Redhead firecracker, charmed. Toasts evolved. To cycles broken. But endings hook. Mom's relapse scare, triggered by Dad's appeal news. One sip at AA. She confessed on call. Almost. But your face stopped me. My face, reborn mask. Fierce love. Keep fighting. December twinkled tentative. Emily's dorm drop-off. Tears and totes. Called daily, she bossed. Promise. I lied. Space her wings. A lone bungalow. Lake winter still. Reflection stared. 24 now. Scars invisible but etched. Plans epilogue. Revenge's embers banked. Justice's forge cooled. Happy? Measured in metrics, Emily's A's. Mom's medals. Jake's nuptials invite. Tragic undercurrent. Dad's suicide watch letter. Smuggled plea. And me. Maddie. Or let me rot. I burned it. Ashes on waves. Mercy? His cage. Self-made. New Year's dawn. Dockside resolve. Rebirth's gift, not endless war, but chosen peace. Controversial choices scarred, but sculpted stronger kin. Emily's text pinged. Miss you. Best plan ever. I smiled. Real. American saga. Betrayals blaze. Revenge's reign. Rebirth's bloom. Clever? Cataclysmic. But ours. The end? Open book. Pages mine to turn.
For now.
Lake Lap's lullaby survived. Sisters. Sovereign.